We need to eat the baby.
I have no respect for women who voted for Trump. Okay? I think so poorly of them, and the reason why.
Hey, welcome to Idaho News. We've got some quick stories to go through. So let's get started. So, Idaho submits Medicaid expansion waiver for family planning. Idaho officials have submitted a Medicaid expansion waiver requiring patients to get a referral from a primary physician before they can get family planning services such as birth control, abortions, or pregnancy care. The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare on Monday submitted the waiver to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for Medicare and Medicaid services. Waivers are required when a state wants to deviate from the Medicaid rules. Voters authorized Medicaid expansion in November with an initiative that passed with 61% of the vote after years of inaction by the Idaho legislature. But lawmakers earlier this year added restrictions requiring 5 waivers, including a work requirement waiver the state submitted last month. Idaho Medicaid expansion enrollment begins November 1st, and coverage starts January 1st. Screw you to the ones that wanted the waivers, because where I fall right in the gray area where nothing will cover me, but I can't afford it. Just more restrictions just make it harder for people. Anyways, so it looks like we've got a group that spreads awareness about human trafficking in Idaho. I totally support that. In Twin Falls, Idaho, the nonprofit organization A21 hosted several events this weekend to spread awareness for human trafficking, to let people know that this is an issue that's happening right here in Idaho. A21 defines human trafficking as the recruitment, control, and use of people's bodies and labor. Friday night, A21 showed a documentary called The Cost of Freedom that tells the story of a real human trafficking victim from Burley. People came out to A21's event and were able to learn about the issue, learn signs to identify victims and what they can do to help. People are actually being trafficked here in the Magic Valley. We had an event last night and had law enforcement and a number of people there talk about actual victims in our area and what is happening with trafficking in Twin Falls, Idaho, said Julie Underwood, host of the Walk for Freedom. Julie started Idaho's first Walk for Freedom last year to fight against human trafficking, and it's her mission to make this an ongoing movement for years to come. The organization is always spreading awareness to keep people informed, and with more help, they can finally put this to an end. That'd be nice if it could end. Anyways, I'm all for that. So this is that A21 website. Just go to www.a21.org. Together, we are eradicating human trafficking through awareness, intervention, and aftercare. So I urge if you're to go and check this stuff out. All right, so we got some Idaho lawmakers that are considering property tax changes. Lawmakers are examining property tax options amid complaints that taxes are going up with rising property values, while also hearing concerns from cities and counties that they're operating on a tight budget. The Property Tax Working Group took no action Monday following a day of presentations that also included university and state financial experts. Ultimately, the group aims to make recommendations and perhaps offer legislation to the full legislature in January. Some officials say home values have increased sharply in recent years, though other factors are also involved in property taxes. Officials say that just under a third of property taxes go to schools, followed by counties, then cities, each using about 26%. Republican Senator Kelly Anthon summed up the day's presentations by saying they represented the complexity of the issue the group is facing. So we'll stay tuned with that. That affects everyone. So I hope they need to lower it, I think, the taxes. But depending on what you look at, though. I'm always for no taxes, though.